already made this a dull interview by saying that.
I made it dull?
Yeah.
Do you like how he like grades me on air? Welcome to our little home.
Thank you
do
very
seem
much.
like a
Lovely
nice
to be
young
here.
man. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Stowell?
Stole. Yeah, like you stole something.
Yeah. Austin Stowell, Stowell, plays a very famous person in history, both for the United States and the Cold War and here in Los
Here in
Angeles.
LA.
Francis Gary Powers in the movie Bridge of Spies. Yeah, that's the movie with Tom Hanks, the Spielberg movie. Powers was a U.S. pilot shot down while flying a U-2 spy plane in Russian airspace during the Cold War. I cannot express to you what a big, important moment that was in international relations. Tom Hanks plays the lawyer trying to negotiate a hostage swap to get him home.
We are engaged in a war with the Soviet Union. This war does not, for the moment, involve men at arms. It involves information.
There's a wrinkle.
They got our spy pilot with a head full of classified information. The Russians want their man back before he cracks. We want you to negotiate the swap.
I'm an insurance lawyer. I'm not sure I want to pick that up. The next mistake our countries make could be the last one.
And with all of that, here is Austin Stowell. Good to see you. Thank
Good
you.
to see you too.
Nice to see you.
This piece of history, and it's a good thing because I think the generations have forgotten all about this, but when the Cold War was on and U.S. and the Soviet Union were like this, and every moment we were afraid there was going to be a nuclear confrontation. We were flying these spy planes over Russia to see what they were doing. Francis Gary Powers was the pilot. He got shot down. The first question I want to ask you is, I'm noticing in the clip, a little coin. Is that the coin I think it is?
That is not the coin you think it is,
Okay.
but I know what coin you're referring to right now.
Which is?
It's the coin with the cyanide needle inside, which actually he was not. It was not part of the protocol for him to take that coin, even though so many people think that these days. It was an option for the pilots to bring the coin, and he did bring it on that flight because he thought he could use it as a weapon if he ever went
If he
down,
needed.
not to kill himself, but to
Because there
use
was
it as a weapon.
criticism immediately afterwards that he didn't use that coin.
Yeah. Oh, there was plenty of criticism about Powers, and he was not welcomed home as a hero when he was released. But and it wasn't until posthumously that he was given the Silver Star and all of these. He was given the CIA intelligence medal.
He was cleared of all the doubts that were raised.
Yes, but not till much later.
Much later.
Yeah.
For you, were you interested in this era, or you got the call and it was like, okay, it's a Tom Hanks Spielberg movie, you want in?
Let me think about it.
Yeah, they had to fill me in on their background, their bio.
They sold you?
I wasn't familiar with their work.
They
You know,
sold
you.
yeah, it was like TE or no ET.
ET.
That's what it was.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to meet that actor who played that little guy. He
That
seemed
little-
great. Yeah.
But in reality, you had been. I'm reading articles. You're Spielberg's it guy because obviously you're in another show that he's doing right now.
Yeah,
right?
he's executive producing Public Morals as well.
Right, so you are lost in the 60s, aren't you?
It's a good place to be lost.
Yeah.
I feel like I was born in the wrong decade.
Yeah, that series, Public Morals, is in the 60s. This happened, what, 1960?
It started in '59,
Yeah.
but he went down. I mean, obviously his career started in the '50s, but went down in '60 and was released in '62.
A lot of you may know this. Ultimately,
Oh, there he is, yeah.
Ultimately, he became the traffic reporter for Channel 4, first for radio for KGIL, then the traffic reporter for NBC, was coming back from covering the fires in Santa Barbara.
And that's when he.
My brothers actually gave me that Time magazine for my birthday this past year.
Really?
Yeah, they found it.
Anyway, his helicopter crashed in Sepulveda Base, and he died.
He died, but he would have actually killed other people. He was his actions, right? I mean, he really was heroic.
There were children playing in the field where he thought he could bring the chopper down safely, and apparently that they don't have the black box technology like we have today, so we don't know exactly. But from what the fella said on the other side, who he was talking to Powers, he said that there was kids in the field and that he took himself out in order to save them.
A little more in the story, as I remember it and reading about it, we, the United States, said, oh, you know what? It was a weather plane.
Yeah.
It got lost. The systems weren't working, et cetera, not knowing that the plane landed intact, basically, and that the Russians were able to look at this and say, this is a spy plane.
Yeah.
Obviously a spy plane.
Right. Everybody said, the Russians were saying that, no, we don't know about Able, and the Americans were saying, well, no, that's a weather plane that went down there. It was a whole lot of
right. And Able was a Russian spy who lived in
smoke and mirrors going
Brooklyn,
on.
who eventually gets traded on the bridge, which is why it's called the Bridge of Spies, that
Yeah.
bridge from Berlin to Potsdam.
And we shot that scene on the actual bridge.
What is that called? The
Gleichener Bridge.
Gleichener
Bridge.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'm not saying that correctly.
But close enough.
Yeah.
Is it for this movie, or is it Public Morals that you had to like jerry rig your own audition tape?
It was for Public Morals.
And you have to say how he does this. To you.
What did
So
you do?
I did it in my hotel room down in Florida while I was shooting another movie down there, and I had, literally taken the nightstand and pulled that out, and then put the chair on top of that, and then the garbage can on top of that, and then put my iPhone up there, and then just grabbed one of the PAs. And so thank you, Ryan, wherever you are. Thank you
Wow.
for that
That's how
audition. Yeah, and that's how I booked that.
And you've never been that good again.
Don't say that. I hope not.
You know what? You are a nice young man.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to meet
My
you.
grandfather would appreciate that.
Austin Stowell, Bridge of Spies, big movie, as you can understand, with Spielberg and Tom Hanks, and a huge cast, and you.